Here's what nobody tells you about the midlife reinvention, or as I like to say, the midlife renovation. The hardest part isn't the change. The hardest part is tolerating being a beginner when you have spent 20, 30, 40 years being competent. So today we're going to talk about why that discomfort is not a stop sign, but rather a sign of something new being born. Welcome to your daily hit of grace and grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. There's a very specific kind of discomfort that comes from trying something new as an adult. It's not just the learning curve, right? That's uncomfortable. But it's really the identity collision that is so uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is there's a part of you that has spent years being capable and experienced and respected because you have built certain skill sets. But that part of you is running headfirst into the version of you that is now feeling a little discombobulated and choosing to go a different direction and not quite having her footing and having to learn new skills because she wants to create something new for her life. And for so many women, that collision is enough to make them stop. Like they feel that identity crisis, they feel that identity collision, and they see it as a stop sign. They decide then and there that it's too hard. It's too late. It's too embarrassing. That ship has sailed. But of course it hasn't. So we need to talk about what's really going on when we feel that way. First, I want to share a quote by George Eliot. You've heard it before, I'm sure. It's a great one. It's never too late to become what you might have been. What I love about this quote is what it implies. Becoming is always present tense. It's not was, not could have been, not might have been, which means it's still in play. Becoming is still in play. It's still actively happening. You're not a finished project at midlife. I really hope that's not true for you. Please don't let that be true for you. You're a woman in process. So here's what I want you to understand about beginner discomfort as an adult. And really, honestly, at any stage, but because we're all adults here, we're going to talk about discomfort as an adult. It's neurological. It's not personal, okay? We got to stop making it personal. When we try something new, the brain is literally working at building new pathways. And that is awkward. And it is very effort-filled. And it is slow. We have to practice, right? That is your neurons. Those are that uncomfortable feeling is your neurons firing on unfamiliar patterns. They're finding their way through the woods. If you read my book, The Consistency Code, I do almost a whole chapter on how the process of developing new neurons, new neural pathways actually works. So growth in real time is all of those things: effortful, slow, uncomfortable. Experts in any field, of course, never became experts overnight. They were once terrible. Anyone who was good at anything was once terrible at it. The difference between people who become competent and people who quit is not talent. It's tolerance for that awkward, messy, slow middle. There's a concept in psychology called the beginner's mind. And the idea that approaching something with openness and without the need to perform or prove actually accelerates learning. And we've all had this experience of just learning something new and being so in it, so in the flow, right? I don't know what that is for you, but I know you've experienced that. Children are great examples of this, not because they're smarter than us, but because they have not yet decided that being bad at something means anything about their worth, because it doesn't. But somewhere along the lifeline of growing up, we made it mean that. We made it mean if I'm not good at something, that has a direct correlation to my worth, which is crazy. Being a beginner does not mean being behind. It means you're moving. It means you're living. It means you are devoted to your own expansion. And that is all so good. Here is the thought management skill for today that I want you to play with. The next time your brain says, I should be better at this by now, or I should know this by now, and it'll happen soon, right? I want you to catch it and replace it with, I'm in the process of building something new. And this is what building feels like, because it is. That reframe is not just motivational fluff. It's neurologically accurate. You are quite literally building. And you cannot rush a build by shaming the foundation or by ignoring the foundation. So pick one thing that you have been avoiding. Think of one thing that you have been avoiding because you're afraid of being bad at it. I admire muralists so much. I love murals, especially like flowers on epic scale. I think it's so incredible. And I have long wanted to take an art class in that. That's something I'm afraid of because I know I'm going to suck at it. But can you embrace the suck? Right? Because that's what being a beginner is. It's embracing the suck so eventually you don't suck anymore. So give yourself permission to be a beginner. I hope it landed for whoever needed to hear it, and I'll see you tomorrow. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, a midlife woman's guide to deep health and happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.